Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to Reading in the Dark. My name is Byron, and I've been gone for a while, but I am now here, and so is this guy, so that's awesome. It's very tempting to start this video as though 6 months haven't passed, but they have. My last posting of a video was April 3rd, but that was actually just the update video when I said I was going to be going away for a while, and the last legitimate video that I posted, about books, was on March 2nd, and we're now in mid-September, so 6 months. So it's been 6 months. If you are a subscriber to the channel, first of all, thanks. And second of all, you probably already know from previous updates and videos of mine that I was having some dizziness and stuff. That was one of the reasons that I needed to take a break, because I just wasn't feeling great. And life was complicated because I was missing work and stuff. Update on that. I had blood work done and everything was normal. So then I went to an ENT and had my balance tested. And they did this test on me to determine, if there was something wrong actually with my eyes or if it was in my ears or whatnot. The test that they did on my eyes was nuts. It was they had a big screen on the wall with a dot that moved around on it, and it was basically a test to make sure that my eyes were tracking the movement of the dot on the screen properly and not doing weird wobbles or something that I guess happens and makes you dizzy. And they do that while you're dizzy, and the way they make you dizzy is they put this weird contraption on you that blows warm air in one ear and cold air in the other ear. And that makes you really dizzy, by the way. And it's funny because when you take a test like that, where they induce a situation and then test your responses to it, you always come away feeling oh, well, that's going to be a really useful test because I was definitely dizzy. But that's actually the point of the test, and everybody's dizzy because they make you dizzy. So actually my results came back normal, and we basically determined that it's either an adrenal fatigue situation, which is kind of a fancy way of saying stress, or some other mysterious thing, but there's nothing seriously wrong with me, and I've learned to kind of cope with it. The dizziness comes and goes. It's actually been going a lot more than it's been coming lately, so that's good. I've been basically feeling a lot better. I have my days, but whatever. That's something that I've learned to deal with, and it's not a big deal. This next section is funny. So in terms of my actual reading while I've been gone away from this channel, I haven't been. There hasn't been any, almost at all. The last book I read was Bird Box by Josh Malerman, and I read that. Did I read that for something? Look, I don't remember. It was 7 years ago. I read that book very slowly. I did not really enjoy it, and what I determined from that experience was that after reading Blindness by I have recently learned that I was pronouncing his name wrong, and I believe it's Jose Saramago, and also The Road by Cormac McCarthy a long time ago, and now Bird Box. You know what? Dystopian post-apocalyptic fiction, not my bag. I'm not really super into it, and I just feel like I've seen the trope so many times. I get really, really bored, and they're all slightly different in terms of the cause of the apocalypse or the breakdown of civilization, but the end result for me is so similar. There's only so many times I can read or watch a story about oh, it's not safe to go out there alone and we have to find food, and oh, the shifting allegiances and blah, 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 and all of the survival stuff. And oh, the people are the enemy, the people are dangerous. All of that, I'm done with it. It's sort of been overdone for me. I finished Bird Box on April 30th. And that's the last book I finished. So I'm going to steer clear of post-apocalyptic and or dystopian fiction in the future. So yeah, if you recall my goals for this year, I had set a very ambitious Goodreads reading challenge goal for myself of reading 100 books. Based on my sort of the rhythm that I had gotten into with my reading towards the end of last year, that was doable, that was plausible. Now granted, towards the end of last year, I was reading quite a bit. And the holidays kind of do that. Between Halloween in October, which is my favorite holiday, and Christmas, there's lots of reasons to read things in my world towards the end of the year. So that may have been an artificially inflated situation. But yeah, so I'm not going to be able to read 100 books, clearly. I already changed my goal on Goodreads to 52, which is one book a week. And that's going to be pushing it. I'm actually at 16 books for the year. At this point, I've read 16 books, which is not good. So I'm thinking that I can hopefully at least come close to 52. I'll even accept just 50 because I was planning on reading 100, and I took 6 months off, and so half of 100 is 50. So I don't know. There's going to be a bunch of readathons coming up and stuff, so maybe 50 is doable, maybe 52. I'm also a little concerned about my Read Harder reading challenge from Book Riot. I'm not sure if that's doable anymore because a lot of those books I don't own. But I'm reading some of the books that are on there, and I do own some of them. Actually, and one of the books on that list is a work by a trans author, and I am reading a thriller. Very slowly have been reading and really enjoying a book called The Red Tree by Caitlín R. Kiernan, who is a trans woman, and the book is really atmospheric and fun and dark, and it sort of details this writer's, devolving into some sort of madness while staying in this old house near this huge old tree. And I'm enjoying it. I'm hoping to finish that soon. So in terms of what I've been doing, instead of reading, since March, I've had some auditions and rehearsals. I've been doing some extra shows and performing in some different things than I ordinarily do on top of what I normally do. So I've been working some overtime. So yeah, but work has been really, really good. I've been pretty busy. And then I actually went on vacation. I went on vacation to Colorado. I flew into Denver, Colorado, and spent a day sort of just exploring, I guess it's called the Mission District. I'm not sure if I'm getting that right anymore. In Denver, which is a very cool city. I had never been there before. I'm a big fan. I could definitely live in Denver. I never would have thought that, except for the fact that it is so dry. It is so dry. I have lived in Florida way too long. The minute I go west of the Mississippi, I start peeling or something. I can't breathe, and I get itchy, and it's bad. But anyway, Denver. It was a beautiful city. I had a really great time. I found this gigantic park. I laid down in the grass with my suitcases and stuff, and then I met up with a couple of my friends, and then we all had dinner, and the three of us drove into the mountains for a friend's wedding. And it was the most beautiful wedding in the world. I'm not going to show you pictures from that because it wasn't my wedding and that's not my place to do, but it was a gorgeous wedding. We had a wonderful time. Colorado is, it's Colorado. It's gorgeous. And then I actually met up with my parents who live in Northern California, and we took a road trip back home, and I spent a week home with my family. And then in the last few weeks have been kind of topsy-turvy for me because we had Hurricane Dorian maybe gonna come here to Florida, and I have been through this before with Hurricane Irma, and it was not cool. And so I did a lot of preparations. I bought a lot of non-perishable food items, a battery thing for my phone. I got my sandbags ready. I was sealing up the window by the sliding glass door in my house because there was a lot of water that came in last time. Doing lots of stuff. I had friends come and stay with me because they lived in an old apartment building that they didn't trust. And sort of everything was crazy for a while. And then, of course, the storm ended up not coming in ashore enough to affect Central Florida. And now, in terms of, literally in an hour or so, I have a couple of new roommates moving in, or tenants, I guess I should call it, since I own my home, but that sounds weird. They're both friends of mine from work. They're great guys, and they're moving in soon, so that's going to be a change. They're also bringing 2 little furry nuggets of joy with them, dogs, is what I mean by that. And that's going to be really interesting because Prince Philip has not had furry friends before, and so it's going to be very, very interesting to see how they get along. I was just checking to see if I had a message because they're going to be here honestly any minute. So that's kind of what's been going on with me. Also, I've been distracting myself with old PC games and playing old PC games and retro gaming, console stuff like Nintendo and Super Nintendo. And I built this Raspberry Pi thing that runs all these emulators, and I've been playing all these old Sega and Nintendo games and having a blast with that. I also brought back the first half or maybe third of my dad's old 35 millimeter Kodachrome slides from the 50s and beyond. And I have been taking on the challenge of scanning them. I bought a nice film scanner, and I'm learning all about how to get it done right, and scanning some old rolls of film of my own that I finally had developed that are from high school or something. So I've been doing all of that other random stuff instead of reading. And I knew all along, I was I'm not done with my reading journey. I'm not not a reader anymore. I'm not done with my channel. I'm not gonna just quit. I just knew that it was not the time, and I was just sort of being patient with the reading bug, knowing that it would come back, and I would know when it was time. And I also kind of separated myself from BookTube. I wasn't watching my BookTubers anymore. I logged into a different YouTube account on my Apple TV and was watching different kinds of videos, and I wasn't really paying any attention to what was going on. And then I eventually did start to come around to feeling okay, I miss it. I miss the reading. I also miss the community. I miss my channel. One of the things I did when I was thinking about getting ready was, and also when I was getting my house ready for my new tenants to move in, was move all of my bookcases that were in here in this office where I film into my bedroom. And I did that because I wanted to have room in here to film again. But I also realized as I was doing it that having the books kind of away kind of hid them out of sight and out of mind. And so I started realizing that putting them in my bedroom, in addition to they just look nice in there, actually sort of has me looking at my books every day, and it's gotten me thinking, wow, I really need to read that. Oh, I really need to read that. So that's something that really helped me. And now I am basically, I think I'm back. Like, I'm ready to read. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be posting twice a week, once a week, but I think I'm definitely going to be posting, I'm hoping, once a week. And be back. So I'm back. We're here. We're doing the thing in September, which is really good timing because, of course, October is coming up, and it's my favorite month. Best month for reading all of the Victorian stuff, Dracula. So I'm excited for all that reading. I am currently partway through The Red Tree. I'm really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to finishing that because there is another book that I recently actually hauled, which is honestly the first book I have purchased since The Red Tree. I think I bought The Red Tree because I thought I already had it a couple months ago. And prior to that, the last books that I bought were in like January or something. So actually, in terms of like doing better with spending so much money on books, nailing it because I haven't bought any. But I did pre-order this book because I read an amazing short story on Tor.com by an author named Alix Harrow. It's called The Autobiography of a Traitor and a Half Savage, which was it was magical realism and historical, fascinating look at the colonization of the New World by white men, told from the perspective of an indigenous person who was being pressed into service as a map maker, basically in a world where they help to hold the earth still for the white settlers so that they can map it. And then once they map it, it'll stop moving around. But in this world, it literally physically shifts and moves and will try to confuse you. If you don't know the land, you might get lost. And so they have to hold it still while they map it. Beautiful read. I sat down and read it in like 45 minutes. And that was many months ago. And I saw that they had a novel coming out, and so I pre-ordered it. And it was just released a few days ago, I think on the 10th, which is an apt date because it isn't titled The 10,000 Doors of January. Now, January is actually the name of the main character in the book. I think it's magical realism / fantasy / adventure. I actually saw one of the people that I follow posted a review of the book, and I didn't watch it because I don't want to know what they thought because I've been looking forward to it for so long. So I want to finish The Red Tree so that I can get to that book soon, hopefully in the next 10 days, because it is yet again time for Contemporary-A-Thon, and I'm going to take part in it again. So I figure that's probably a good way to come back with, low stakes. I'm not going to try and read 7 books in 7 days. That's not happening. But I'm going to take part in Contemporary-A-Thon. I'll be posting a TBR soon. Takes place between the 23rd and the 29th, which is just about a week and a half away. I think I'm going to be vlogging during that time because I enjoy doing the vlogs. I know you guys like watching the vlogs. And I think that'll also help keep me motivated. So I'm just going to try and do my best to adjust my habits in a way that allows me to read more than I have been, which was not at all. And that makes, once again, allows this channel to be fun and pick up with my reading and the channel in such a way that it's a nice symbiotic relationship without it being a stress. I have my birthday coming up soon in October, Halloween, okay? And Spookathon, the December holiday season. For me, I celebrate Christmas. So there's lots of things that I'm excited to read that are traditions that I will want to read. So I think the end of the year here is going to be pretty good for my reading. So I'm optimistic. With that all said, I want to say a huge thank you to all of my subscribers and everybody who's watching, but especially my subscribers for still being here and for hanging in there with me because it has been 6 months. My channel actually passed the year birthday mark in June, and I wasn't posting at the time, so I missed it completely. But yeah, my channel has been around for over a year now, and I was missing it, and I'm really grateful that you all are still here. I remember saying in my Hold Please video to not go away because I would come back, I just didn't know when that would be. And you really did stick around. What's really heartening to me as well is to see that while I was away, instead of my subscribership dipping down, it actually grew quite a bit. which is amazing. And I wasn't expecting that. And that's just on the merit, I guess, of my back catalog of videos, which is so cool. And that's just surprising to me. So again, thank you all for being here. I'm really grateful that you have hung around. I'm excited to be back. And with that said, what are you still doing here watching this video when you could be reading? Don't be like me. Go and read. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let's read.